All right, y'all. So let's talk about this. So we're going to talk about black people. We're going to talk about exposing the truth, regardless to who you are, what nationality you are, and why it's important. Depending on how much time I got with this, will determine if I do a part 2. But let's get into it. Now, I just did a video about this guy that calls himself Lord Jamar being disrespected by a bunch of white people, by some racist people on top of that. And I know, because I dig into their channels to see what they got going on, and I've seen and heard things that clearly expose who and what they are. But regardless, they're very bold. And I don't see the tough guy responses. Like when black people go at it, it's always something that just triggers another black person. It's almost like you just a nigga just like me. Why would I listen to you? Tie this into this. Remember when I told you, if you didn't see it for yourself, Mike Epps a couple of maybe 2 months now, something like that. Mike Epps was being interviewed, and Mike Epps said out of his own mouth, he said, one thing about being black, I don't care how famous you are, how rich you are. He said, the only people you got power over is other black people. The second you start to, call out and say things about anybody not black, that's when that's when you get canceled. That's when all of a sudden you got problems. Right? So black people use each other for entertainment and amusement. This comedian, Corey Holcomb, every time I turn around, he got something negative to say about other black people. Aries Spears, something negative to say about black people. See, we have to learn how to understand how to separate. We have to learn how to separate insults and just shit talking from dropping the truth and saying what needs to be said. Example, when Aries Spears was asked by who? A white guy. Who? Vlad. As usual, does he like Ice Cube? He don't have to lie if he don't like Ice Cube music. He could, you know what I'm saying? It's sometimes you can just, whatever, without going into an explanation, or just change the subject, right? Well, why can't I be honest? No, you can. See, but here's the thing. You only say this type of stuff about black people. He went into imitating the way Ice Cube talk, and I can't stand Ice Cube. Then says, I never disrespected him as a man, and this and that. Nah, you did. You just sat here and said, I can't stand Ice Cube, right? You don't have to like Ice Cube. I will never tell somebody to be fake. But there's things that you can, put it like this. To say something and be blunt about it, but then get in your feelings because Ice Cube responds and say that you basically not funny and don't think nobody have you in their top 10 of anything, right? That your material is garbage, right? And call them a hater, right? He responds to that. Go back to what Mike Epps said. And this is factual. They just did a video about a white comedian who bombed on stage. I don't see not Corey Holcomb, nobody. You know how I know? I checked. No, nobody did a video about him. But when T.I. bombed, everybody wanted to talk. And who was the main ones? Black people. See, this is my point, y'all. One of the fellas, one of the homies said in the comment section, that's why I don't publicly say nothing about black people, because then racist people think they can say what they want. But let me dissect that for you, brother. Because I need you to understand this. I understand what you're saying, but you see, you sound like my father to a certain degree. Because my father, we had a lot of differences. And it took my father to become an old man to finally see where he was wrong about a lot of this shit. Everybody black is not for us, brother. Everybody that's black don't mean good to black people, which means they blend in. Like example, Chili's a fucking sellout, right? She got backlash, and this whole TLC tour with En Vogue and Salt and Pepper has been canceled, right? Yeah. Now, was we supposed to protect Chili? Chili aligns herself with our oppressors. Chile aligns herself with people who don't give a fuck about us. So were we supposed to, no, that's the problem. Black people, all the so-called good ones are too, how do you stand by, watch this shit and not address it? There's a difference. Just like when I said, Shadeja Green should have did exactly what Regis Prograis did when he fought Devin Haney. And he's getting interviewed. And the guy that's interviewing him is talking shit about Devin Haney. Regis Prograis said, nah, see, y'all some Devin Haney haters. I ain't no hater. Yo, I respect Devin Haney. Devin's a great fighter. I'm just talking my shit in the build-up to the fight to let him know, like, you know, I'm coming in to win, but I ain't no hater, man. Y'all some Devin Haney haters. Nah, Shadeja Green, same thing. When you hear me talking, and I say, these fucking people just hate Clarissa Shields, it ain't got nothing to do with because she talks shit. Nah, she's black. I guarantee you. If Savannah Marshall had the same characteristics and personality, it'd just be Savannah being Savannah. If Katie Taylor, hell, Amanda Serrano walk around calling herself the GOAT. Oh, but she really is, right? With 3 fucking losses to the same person, right? Yeah, right. When you see a black fighter, don't say nothing to stand up for black people. When you see a black fighter who stands back and when all this racism shit going on, like I would say Deontay Wilder's name, and I say anybody's fucking name, to their fucking face, to their mama's face. How the fuck is blackness, it only matters to you when you got a fight coming up. It only mattered to you. You never before the Tyson Fury fight heard this man talking about no black this and black that. Never, right? But then, when Rand Garcia says what he says, when T.O., all these motherfuckers doing what they doing, where was all this blackness then? Why weren't you offended and made it known? Why were you silent? It's only when you have an issue. All the excuses as to why he got beat by Fury. So when I say, you could have made this money with Anthony Joshua. But nah, you purposely aligned yourself with Fury to try to block him out and freeze him out. And then that shit backfired big time. That's why in 2026 you walking by smiling talking about, yeah, let's make it happen, let's do it. Then walk away from the motherfucker and go, you bitch. Oh, okay, I see. But then you said we knew what time it was about Fury from the very beginning. You keep talking about this documentary, See, you gotta, y'all gotta understand how to read the room. See, I don't have no fucking, I'm nobody's fan. I'm nobody's fucking fan. I call that shit down the middle like I'm too much man for that shit. When I called out Alicia Baumgartner for her backstabbing, my whole thing with all of that shit, everybody don't give a fuck. They're all about individual success, not us as a people. One of the greatest fucking lies that a black person can tell another one is, if I make it, we all make it. Nigga, you got all these poor black people who save money up just to go fucking try to audio motherfucking videos and streaming services and all that. People try to go out here and support your fights. How the fuck are they winning? Because they get to sit and watch you fight and cross their fingers and just go through life hoping one day I might be able to do what he did. I might be able to. Nah. We can't sit back and see the problem and not address the problems. I got people telling me, yo, Aries, man, your channel, yo, you real, man. Your shit, it keep me focused because you bring shit to my attention that I never really thought about. You bring shit to my attention that I've been seeing but never really knew how to analyze this shit. So how the fuck do I sit up here and have a channel, see what I see, and don't say anything about it? See, you not saying nothing publicly, me not saying nothing publicly ain't gonna stop these motherfuckers from saying what they're saying. It's the actions that we do. We're not out here gangbanging and killing each other, are we? We're not out here selling drugs to each other, are we? We're not out here dressing up like females, are we? We're not out here sitting up here just tearing black people apart, are we? No, we are addressing what's real. So we can't sit here and let these fake motherfuckers camouflage. Now, if I sit here and I say that a black person, if I speak on a black person in a way about I'm not in favor of something that they said or did or a performance that they gave, that's just being honest and talking about whatever that situation is. But when we sit here and see that a motherfucker is full of shit, a person is doing scumbag shit, see, that's the problem with being a fan. Y'all can't take your feelings away from a situation and you make it about you in that point, at that moment. Don't tell me behind closed doors you agree with me, but then publicly you scared to stand with 10 toes to the fucking ground. Because now that's like somebody falsely, imagine if somebody falsely accused you of something, right? Tell 10 people, yo, that motherfucker did this, he stole my money, blah, 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 blah. Then find out that you didn't steal his money, right? But he come to you behind closed doors and apologize to you. But he don't go back to them 10 people and say, hey, I was wrong, he didn't steal my money. He let them think that you stole your money, that guy stole your money. But he come to you to apologize. So I want to smooth things out about you, but I'm not going to go and let them know I was wrong. Because he done talked so much shit now, he's worried about his embarrassment. And all the shit that these people said, now you know the truth of how they feel about you. And this came out of what? Somebody telling lies. How the fuck do you let people like that blend in with us? That's what we're doing when we don't speak up. And this is exactly why people do what they do, because they see that fear. It's like an animal, brother, that can sense fear. You might not realize it, but yeah, they sense it. They can sense the holdback. They can sense that, yeah, these niggas are weak. They know I'm wrong, but they're not going to do nothing because they know if they say something, they're worried about backlash. They're worried about what I'm going to do. Man, they're going to do what they want anyway. That's the problem. They see too many weak black people and not the strong black people. And that is doing absolutely nothing except giving these people false confidence. This is exactly why this white guy who brutalized this black woman, he wasn't concerned. He wasn't worried about what black people gonna say, feel, or do. And who ran up behind him? A white guy. What did the white guy do? He was recording that shit with a big smile on his face. See, this is my point. Let's reverse the roles. This is a white woman, and here's a black guy running up on this white woman to brutalize her. You think these people would have stood around and just watched that shit happen? Nah, somebody would have got physically involved. They would have called the cops and did something. But for this black woman, nah. When you hear me tell you, black women, nobody's going to fight for you. Nobody's going to make sure you're safe. When you hear me dropping these bars, everything I fucking say comes into fruition. See, they had a young white guy. I don't know how old he is. He looked really, really young, like a teenager, like young. I remember this guy sitting here saying, black people, how could you be MAGA anything? Do you realize that MAGA, do you realize white Americans hate you? They hate your very being and everything that you stand for. How you guys are not welcome in this MAGA situation. You know what was crazy about that? He dropped his video 2 days after I dropped mine, saying the same shit. But you want to know something? It takes somebody not black to get you niggas to talk. This is what I'm telling you guys. The illusion of inclusion is something that fool black people. And like when you hear people like Cat Williams say, fuck all that shit, as long as you getting yours, keep it pushing. And yeah, remember how all of them used to talk about black people, black power and all that? Notice how the more successful they get, they stop talking about that shit? Why do you think that is? I tell you why. Because as long as these motherfuckers got what they got, they're scared to speak up and say anything. Because like Mike Epps said, the second you start saying something about other people, that's when you get canceled. I'm going to do a part 2. That's all I got for y'all right now.